This is going to be a quick description on how to produce a pattern that you can use to cut out a pipe if you need to intersect the second piece of pipe. So in this instance, we're going to look at doing a simple 90-degree joint. So if we imagine if I had a 80mm pipe in this instance and I wanted a 60mm pipe to join it, how would I know what profile to cut on the end of the pipe? And that's what we're going to cover today. So a template for a bit of pattern development essentially. It's a template that we can use to cut out a pipe that's going to intersect a different pipe. So in this instance, I'm going to draw a line, just as a bit of a guideline over here. Keep this nice and straight. There we go. Again, nice and faint for now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my dividers. I'm going to set these to 40mm so I can draw an 80mm pipe at the top of that line. 40mm on my dividers. Okay, so again, position isn't too crucial this first line, this first point. As long as we've got a nice clear 80mm. Now this could scale, it doesn't matter what size these two pipes are, but the method stays the same regardless. So let's say that's my 80mm pipe and I want a 60mm pipe to join it in that direction. And let's say it's going to be a little stub of pipe and it's going to be a piece pipe that finishes about there, but it's got to be cut to match that profile. How would I do that? Well, the first thing to do is identify where would our pipe end, first of all. So if we say, for the sake of scaling it nice for the camera here, I'm going to place it, let's say 50mm. So leave a little mark where the 50mm indent is. Okay. I'm going to draw a line left to right here to identify the end of our pipe, and we're going to have a 60mm pipe here intersecting our 80mm piece pipe. So I'm going to go 30mm on either side. 30 plus 30 gives us 60, I hope. Now let's draw in the ends of our line. So we've got a bit of a visualization now. 80mm pipe and a 60mm pipe joining it in that direction. It's a fairly simple process that we need to follow from here, but what we need to do is we first need to divide up our 60mm pipe into even segments. So I'm going to get my dividers again. I'm going to set them to 30mm, the same as our pipe here. That's the radius of our pipe here. I'm going to draw in a semicircle on the bottom of our drawn pipe there. Now, the reason for doing this is I'm now going to divide this semicircle up into segments. So I'm going to use the 30-60 square in this instance because I want to divide this portion up into 6 equal segments. So I'll use the 60-degree portion first, where I rest on the center, leave myself a little notch, flip it over, rest on the center, and a little notch there. And then this time I want to use the 30-degree portion of the square to put a little mark there. And a little mark there. Now it doesn't really matter how many points you split this up into, but the more points you have, the more accurate your pattern will be. If I quartered that, it definitely wouldn't be enough points. And for the sake of the video and the length of the video, I'm just doing this in 6 portions. But again, if I was doing it for a job that I wanted to fit really well, I'd probably divide these further again. But for now, that'll be just fine. So now that I've identified them, what do we do? I'm going to use my set square. I'm going to pick up on those points that I've drawn with the square side, and I'm going to draft that line up to the top, up to where it intersects our 80mm circle. I'm going to do that on both sides. So now my drawing looks a little bit like that.